I think the music might be a bit loud, but people can let me know if that's the case. And I'm just going to leave that where it's at. I'm trying out the new stream setup, so we'll see if it's actually any good or not. So I've set up with a secondary stream. Let's call it a PC. It's really just one of my old Surface Pros I got sitting around. It's on the desk next to me, and then a cobbled together series of cables dumps it all across the output from my computer. So I now have myself like a view of my camera on like 5 different screens around me, so I can't figure out where I'm looking and which ones are in sync with what at what point in time. So this is fun. Today I'm actually going to be starting something new, like kick off a new project, because the stuff that I'd been doing with the Blazing Pizza workshop and all that sort of stuff, I've kind of actually hit the limits of what I can do at the moment with the backing service. So like ultimately the goal was to get it up onto static web apps, but static web apps doesn't currently support doing .NET applications. Like you can get them, like the Blazor component I can get up there, but it's then like the .NET functions backend, like you can't get that up there, and it's a bit of a pain. So I'm like, well, probably no point hacking away at something that I can't actually get any further with in the deployment. So I thought we'll build something new, and we'll tackle the thing that at least everyone in Australia is probably very familiar with, working with teams that are located in particularly the US, and that's time zones. I spent a lot of time trying to work out when something needs to happen. Your Teams call is probably quite loud, but I also didn't have the microphone quite as close as it probably should have been. There we go. Drop it down a touch so it's hopefully staying out of frame. Let's hope that's better. Like I said, I'm not quite sure. I think I'm running how much of a delay? It's only like a 10-second delay. Yeah. I can see that the audio bars in OBS are also bouncing a whole lot better, which means that it's probably performing a lot more ideally. Anyway, so we're gonna try and build something that I want to try and build something to replace a tool that I use quite a lot. So let's jump over to that. Anyone that's been on my streams in the past has probably seen this pop up every now and then, like when I've created new tabs. This is something that I use. It's a browser add-on that show, like I've punched in all the time zones that are of relevance to me, but there's a couple of things that I don't like about this. First off, it is kind of sluggish when it launches. I've had times where like the tab just kind of hangs while it's loading. It doesn't actually integrate with like this create an event doesn't actually work for me. The time zones, while they're all currently accurate, they actually don't update as like daylight savings rolls through. So like when we go into daylight savings, it'll reflect, like me here in Sydney will reflect daylight savings, but Perth won't get reflected. Like the labels don't change. It doesn't support having just GMT displayed, so I had to put in a place that I know is always in GMT. This is actually the maximum number, and I think I'm like 2 time zones short that I tend to work across from this, so I actually can't have enough time zones on there. And also the this plugin has gone to a freemium model, so because I haven't reinstalled a browser for a while, I'm still on like a very old version of the plugin, which means that I can show multiple time zones, but the freemium model means that I wouldn't be able to show more than, I think it's 2 or 3 time zones. And I'm like, it's kind of a good chance for me to play with something that Amy will be impressed if I have to try and learn, which is CSS Grid, because, well, this is just a kind of a grid across of like each column, and then like as you add more time zones, everything should just like format to fit in, at least in theory. That's going to be the theory anyway. So I'm going to try and build this, but I also want to tackle a couple other things about it that I don't like, because it's a browser tab extension. I would like it maybe as a progressive web app that you could install, so that it's not tied to my browser. It's just an app that's running that I could use it on my phone, and we'll kind of see where we go with that. Maybe we integrate it with like the video chat platforms that everyone else seems to be building on, like Phil's building and that kind of stuff. But we'll see. We'll start by at least displaying some time zones and allowing you to add and remove time zones. I think that's probably a good starting point from where we're at. So without further ado, let's create a new project. And make directory, what do we call this? Time zone viewer, because naming things is hard. And git new. There we go. So I created an alias called new, which initializes with the main as the default branch instead of master. But I do know that, like, I think it's the latest version of Git has a config option where you can set that. I just don't think I've got that installed, and if I've got it installed, I probably don't have it configured. So I just can do Git new anyway at the moment. It gets me started. It's a good enough starting point. And we'll open this in VS Code. And I've been watching Phil's stream where he doesn't seem to be using like a preprocessor or anything like that. Like, I don't quite know how someone's doing like modern web dev without like a hardcore JavaScript UI framework. Let's have a crack at doing that as well. We might need some node modules. So we might need a bundler eventually. Let's start without that. So we're gonna make a directory. We'll call it public. Call it public? No, we'll call it public. No, I'm gonna move that from public to source, just because I prefer to call things source. And let's just do a .git ignore. I'm going to put node modules in here anyway, because I am going to do an npm init. Scaffold that up. And I am going to install a dev dependency of light server. So light server, light server, not live server. Light server. So light server is just like a lightweight web server. Has things like browser sync built into it and stuff like that. So it'll be useful for doing this just local dev, given that I'm not going to, at least at the moment, we don't have like a Webpack dev server or a Create React app that we're going to stand up. I'm going to regret that I'm like not using those tools shortly, I'm sure. Okay, cool. So that's done, installed, and we'll do index.html and HTML. Boom. Device width, initial scale, those are fine. Did I not? Node modules. Duh. Spelling mistakes to start. Good work. What time is it where? We'll put in a H1 to do build an app. Actually, yeah, we'll progressively put some more stuff in here, and then we're going to create a start, which will just run light server npm start. Cool. There we go. Yep, so I'm probably going to have to change something so that it understands where the... Okay, so, because, yeah, I just want to hit slash. I don't want to have to type that index slash source to get there. No. I think for that, we need a BS config. Touch. BS config. I shouldn't laugh. And then, excellent. We'll just do copy stuff from here, because that's BS config. That. And the base directory is going to be /src. Close those. Cool. npm start again. And that. Oh, no. Haha. Well, that's annoying. Why didn't it just hit index? Doesn't it, like, files? Yeah. Don't we have to, like, specify, like, an index dot... Well, that'll be annoying. I just wanted to hit slash and be like, you know that that's index dot... Oh, no, that's... because I've stuffed something up. It's probably got to be... Wait, was it dot slash? Let's go up. Dot slash relative paths. Did I just serve out the root of my machine? Ooh. That's probably a terrible idea. There we go. That's better. Cool. And we see browser sync is connected. So I think what that means is that if I was to come into index and then put a smiley face on the end. Yay! Awesome. Now, last thing, just gonna have another terminal in the location, time zone viewer, and we are going to copy from somewhere. Let's do license there. So we're going to copy our license. Let's check out what our license is. Yep. MIT. Good. That's what I want. Change this to MIT. Author can be Aaron Powell. Aaron Powell. There we go. Whoops. Cool. Keywords. Nah. Version. Yeah, that's fine. Main is irrelevant. Okay, cool. What's that? Markdown lint telling me that I should have a heading. I don't care. I'm not going to put in a heading. Git status, git add, and git commit initial init project. There we go. Got started, up and running. Yay! And things are working. Okay, so we're going to need to start displaying some time zones. Well, actually, we probably want some way to select time zones as well. So let's start with that. I wonder, it's gonna be the easiest way to get all of, like, list out a lot of time zones. I wonder if Moment.js has that. Moment. It's not going to take long before we go, hey, there's a dependencies that we want to need, we want to use, so we just grab Moment. Let's see, docs. Customizations, utilities. No. Plugins. No, it doesn't look like this ships with anything for that. Moment time zone. That might be better. Pause and display dates in any time zone. Ooh. This kind of sounds what we're after. The builds are available there. No, zone object. Okay. Using time zones. I wonder if does it give me getting all zones. There we go. Ta-da! We can get all of our time zones from this library. That's going to be easy. But it's a dependency that we're then going to be including in our project. And I want to try and minimize the number of dependencies that we have. Because the more dependencies that we've got, then the more of an annoyance it's going to become. But we'll start. Let's just have a look and see what it could give us. So we want to. I don't want to bower and so I don't want to do that. Where's it on 10-year net range? With data. I think that's the one I want. I want the download though. Is there going to be? Yeah. Well, that's annoying. I wonder if it's like an ES6 module version of it. Where would we find that? Their docs. Like, does it? So where to use it? Node browser. Yeah, a moment. Require webpack. I kind of wish it just shipped like as something I could use in the browser without just doing it this way, but we're gonna do it this way. Yeah, browser from the home page. It's that file. We're gonna have to import this file. We'll just stick that in a script tag. Boom. Now let's have a look at that now. Play around with it. See what it's giving us. Ooh, cannot read version of an arm. You've actually got to include moment as well. Really? Oh well, that's somewhat disappointing. Where is moment? There it is. So we will use another script tag. Script. So C is that. And okay, cool. So if we go moment dot tz. Ooh. There was that one. So now to get all, what was that? That was on get all time zones, moment.tz.names. Moment.tz.names. Wow, that's a lot of time zones. 594. Well, I mean, that's a lot of zones. These are just the names of the zones. But does it tell me get the time zone information for each of them? Guessing from a user zone. Get all zones for a country. Nah, because then you kind of like hard coding all the countries. So I don't want that. Well, let's pass through and get the time zone for... Okay, the zone object, that's what I want. So I want to do zone for a location. You know what about your time zone? TZ zone. Yeah, of a location. So let's do what is going to be a terrible chunk of code. Dot map tz moment dot zone. No, tz dot zone tz. There we go. So here are all the zones, and if we have a look at that, offsets, offset by 16. Let's find Sydney dot filter info dot name. We just do name starts with Australia, I guess, or was that in abbreviations? We'll do name dot index of Australia is greater than equal to 0. Here we go. So here are all the Australian zones. If we find Sydney, these are all the there's 142 ways to refer to the Sydney time zone. They're all the same. AEST, AEDT, There's 142 ways to refer with the same set of characters. I should probably read the docs and work out what those mean. Offsets. Minus 660. What on earth did these mean? The timestamp is in the offset in minutes. Okay, so what's an offset? The offset is the offset from UTC. Okay, so zone UTC offset timestamp 480. This is confusing the hell out of me. Maybe I should build it myself. Like, how hard could it be to create something that's going to, you know, parse all countries into like the time zone data. So, oh, this is where it's going to become like a really terrible idea to try and figure this stuff out. So I've done enough stuff in the past playing around with time zones that, yeah, time zones change at like really random points of time, like when daylight saving starts and ends and things like that, and it's just, well, for lack of a better description, shit. Is it too late to start something completely different? Okay, no, I think I'm going to persevere with moment. So the offset in minutes. Well, I mean, I suppose it's 60 minutes, and yeah, if we have a look at that, it is 60 minutes. So if we were to do Australia/Sydney, Let's just collapse all this back up. So if we were to go var zone equals moment tz zone. So if that's the zone, that's Australia. We go zone dot okay, so UTC offset, from moment dot now. So we're 600 minutes behind UTC? No, I would have. Oh no, UTC is 600 minutes behind us in Sydney, which is 10 hours, which makes sense, doesn't it? Yes. Okay, I think I'm figuring this out. Okay, so how far from, okay. So then how do we say take a zone, and so if I find a zone and I want to find out when something is in another time zone. So if I've got, so moment.now is that, and then zone dot what was countries? Oh, okay, cool. Getting sidetracked. Let's make that full screen. So I want to say if I've got, yeah, you're right, Adrian. So zone is the number of minutes you had to UTC to get there. But what was tripping my head up was that, so I have this, it was because it was giving me the negative 600. But the reason it's doing that is because I'm saying, what is the offset? Like, where is UTC relative to this zone? And the position of UTC is negative 600 from the current zone. So let's do var zone. I only mentioned Amy once on the stream and she's popped up. She must have known that we were talking about her. So zone equal, actually no, we're going to call this AEST equals zone. So I know what that is. And then we're going to do PST equals moment dot tz dot tz what was that? Dot zone PST. So PST. No, okay, so I need to do it from an abbreviation. I can't do it from an abbreviation. I need to give it like US / something. That's zone from country, zones from country. So there's no way of getting a zone, guessing the user zone. I know that's a dicey thing for you to try and do. So I'm just wondering, like, if I have a zone abbreviation, abbreviation. PDT, okay. Well, that's the easiest way to get it. I was just wondering if I could go from the abbreviation back, but I don't think I can. So that could come to here. You built a time zone parser. That seems like a silly idea. And I can tell you that because I've just started trying to do one and it feels like a silly idea. Okay, so now if I was to go AEST dot UTC offset. No. So I've got one zone and then I want to get the current time for that zone. So if we go, no, moment. So moment TZ will then return me, okay, so a moment in that time zone. Okay. So if we went moment dot TZ moment dot now, and then AEST. No, so I need to pass. How do I do like now, or is just now in the current time zone? Moment dot now. So yes, you're right. I mean, I am trying to build a time zone comparison tool, but to do that, I want to get a list of all time zones, and that is proving to be the interesting thing to do. AEST dot format. We'll do hour min sec. Isn't it format? I thought it was moment.format. Moment.now should return me a no, we'll just go moment. Try that. That's not right. It's definitely not midday. So moment.format hour min whoops. Yeah, okay. Okay, moment TZ. Like, there are two in a. Right, moment.tz bracket moment. Okay, so it doesn't like that. So you got to pass in like. Just want to do like now. Moment. Dot now. Like. So you can't pass that in. Dot format. It's not moment. Format. Moment. Dot format. Date fns. Does date fns do time zone? Date fns. If it doesn't ship with time zone stuff built in, then it's gonna not be ideal. More coming. Good to know. Localization. Time zones. Ooh, okay. Okay, so we do API time zone helpers. So no, but I don't think it gives me a way to get all time zones, because like that's the first thing that. So the first thing I want is a way to list all time zones, and time zone format. Wait, the browser doesn't. Yeah, so the browser has that stuff built in. Yeah. Okay, well, let's go have a look at this other project then. So I can see that they've got. Oops, not that. Ooh, what's FP do? So let's see. format. It's just all there. This is their API. Seconds helpers, minutes helpers, date helpers, weekday helpers, month helpers, quarter helpers, year helpers. So you've just sent me a link to the timezone doc. That's that scroll up. Timezone docs. That's just where I was, which is here. So we can get the time zone localized. But what I want is it to give me like AST, AWST, PDT, UTC, etc. And like the countries associated with those. Like, can I go that way? Or can you... Because I don't want to have to kind of write something out that lists all of them. So yeah. So it's going to require me to give it the time zone descriptor. Oops, wrong tab. Let's open up Amy's link because okay, so working with that was when two relevant pieces of information. Yeah, the fixed moment in time and the time zone descriptor. Light moment and Luxon. Yeah, so the internationalization API. All right, let's go to the Git repo. Whoops, wrong one. Let's copy this link. Okay, so time zone support. Sorry, it's in a separate package under that. Is that the same crew? No. So yes, this list time zones, and then that just gives me, I'm assuming, all the strings. You can read about module loading in other environments. I don't want a UMD. I want an ES6 module. Do you support an ES6 module here? Dist. Should have just left it in that folder. Oh crap, what file did I just have? Index.umd. So many vars. Do they ship an ES6 module version? Index UMD. Ah, that's disappointing. So I have to use the UMD. Okay, well, let's play around with this one as well. It's just, chucking in more packages. Okay. Let's come back to their docs. So... what do we want? We want list time zones is a function. No, it is not. Damn it. Okay, fine. I will read the docs properly. Window.timezone support. Const window.timezone support. And then we should be able to do that. Oh, this has only got 387 compared to moments like 500 odd. So fewer time zones. Okay. So we can get those time zones. Find time zone for Berlin. And then that just gives you the names, which you can then pass across to something like this. Get zone time. But does it... Will it tell me like the offsets and things like that? Okay, so find time zone. Okay. Window... Oh no. Time zone support dot find time zone on Australia / Sydney. There's 1,000 abbreviations that it's got. What's LMT? I'm assuming that the 1,000, it's a one-to-one mapping between the offsets. So yeah, AEST and then Antilles. And that's going to be when that period was, I'm assuming. Let's have a look. Usage. Yeah, time zones, convert. No. Let's have a look at the API reference and then... So find time zone gives me a thing until... Until... It's called untils. Yeah. Untils. What does untils mean? Your API reference isn't helpful. Untils. Awesome. It's like I get that, but I don't. Oh well, that one's probably, yeah, that looks a bit more lightweight, so we'll say so long to Moment. Sorry, Moment. That was fun while it lasted, but it's gone now. Cool, so that's going to do that. Give me the time zone information, and then I saw it said, yeah, it integrates with that by passing the arbitrary time zone and time zone conversions. Yeah. Okay, we'll try date FNs because I haven't used it. I don't care about whether it's lightweight or not, though. Pfft. Performance. Why is that a concern? Now. Okay. Installation guide. Boom. I don't want to use it from an NPM package. It's going to be unpack, isn't it? We'll do that. Grab unpack. Let's just pop that. So it's going to be date FNs. Date FNs. It's the package name. Okay, so that's the latest. Damn. I'm going to be so dirty if they just don't ship a UMD or something similar to that. And if that's the case, then they're getting deleted. work. Raw. Now we'll chuck that. Oops. No, there to there. God. I think the fact that they're not supporting a UMD means they're probably going to get, like, cancelled. I don't want to install a node module for it. I'm trying to do this without using node modules. Export. Wait. Blah. Okay. Let's check their GitHub. Oh, so they're going to say that you should be... The reason that you should be using it through NPM is so they can do tree shaking or something like that. Ooh, why is that? That's cool. Do you know that you can click on stuff in readmes and it will show you where the code comes from? Did not know that. Nice. UMD. I wonder if anyone's just created... Ha! Will there be a UM? Not since October last year. Like, I don't want to put in a preprocessor yet. Like, modern web development shouldn't require a darn preprocessor. Yeah, sorry, I'm going back to moment just because, like, this is going to be just annoying to deal with. It might be more lightweight, but the fact that they don't ship themselves as a single bundle just means that from a web development standpoint, like, you can't just drop it into a page. And I get kind of the point that they're trying to make, where you pick and choose the sub module functions that you need, but then I've got to stand up a webpack pipeline, and I'm trying to do this without any other dependencies. So yes, it was a nice idea, but we'll come back when people are complaining about the bloat size of this. So where do we get to in testing? So I want to list out all the locations, and then for all the locations I want to list out their GMT offset. So let's start doing that. And create a new folder. Actually, there we go. Create a new file, and we go scripts/index.js. And did you know that if you put a slash in a path name to a file, when you're writing it in, when you're creating a file name in the VS Code editor, it will automatically create the folders as well. Look at that. So Amy, yes, how will I do it with TypeScript? I'm actually not going to try TypeScript this time. Not yet. Again, start simple and then build up. But also, there shouldn't be a whole lot of code, so I shouldn't need TypeScript. But what I am going to do is... this is going to need to be an async anonymous function, because we don't support top level of weight in the browsers, I don't think. and then that. Boom. Expected, yeah. Yeah, let's execute that. No, that. That. There we go. Cool. And we're going to await import. Wait, was it import scripts? Import scripts. That, comma. It has to be an array. And then this one. So this is how we don't use a module loader. I know it's weird that I'm not using TypeScript this time, isn't it? Oh, wait. No. Import. Moment. Oh, wait, hang on a sec. Did I delete them? Oh, I haven't referenced that file. That's going to be first problem. We're going to do scripts source equals scripts index. There we go. Okay. No, failed to dynamically load module. Get aborted. Now, why did the get abort? Network. 404. Ah. That's right, because you import one at a time. So yes, we do that. That will be close there, and then we do import bracket that, import that, and then this will actually be promise.all imports that. And there we go. Now wait, it was promise.all a yeah, and then we're going to put that in square brackets. Promise.all cannot set property moment of undefined. Oh, because you've got to load that one. That one's got a complete loading beforehand, which means that I can't promise all that. Okay. So we'll await import, and then we'll await silly caps lock. We'll await the import of that one. Done. And then, bah! That's interesting. I wonder why that failed. So, right, console.log window.moment. What am I doing? Window.moment. I wonder if it doesn't like it because it's, yeah, because it's not actually UMD. Const foo equals await that and await, oops, console.log foo. Let's see, like, do I get the, yeah, I got the module. So because it's not an actual, so maybe I do need to use import scripts. Let's go import scripts. Now is this blocking? And then we'll just go console.log window.moment. Import. Wonder where it's picking up that from then. JavaScript import. No, statement UMD. Because I've been using these things I've been trying to use just like native imports for a while, which allows you, yeah, to import stuff just kind of like this. Use more imports. No, yeah, just import. Import star. No, that's no. Browser, JavaScript, browser, native import. Because it's not like import star from. You import with a function which returns you a promise. Import read-only live bindings that are exported by another module. Nope. Yeah, that's it. There we go. So we wait and import like that. Okay, so maybe let's see if Moment exports an ESM. I'm going to spend like 2 hours just trying to work out how to import projects because I'm going to be stubborn and not include a minifier, damn it. Or like a bundling tool. Issues. Let's go ESM. Yep. Because I'm trying to be stubborn and not import stuff. Like, yeah. I've hit yet another problem where I can't do that. Oh, fantastic. ESM. Let's just see what Webpack, yeah. Okay, fine. Well, I can import Moment in the browser. I could do that. Slash scripts slash index.js. Damn it! I can be stubborn. Const moment. Actually, yeah, const moment. Moment equals window. So we'll just unpack Moment there, and then console.log moment. We'll just make sure that that's loaded, which it should have done. Yeah, cool. Okay, so we've now got Moment. It's not ideal. Const zone names equals. Actually, no, we go. Zone names is going to be moment.tz.names, and then I want to do const zone infos equals zone names dot map name moment tz zone name, and then log zone infos. That was like, yeah, okay, cool. So that was the stuff I had before. Yes, it is. Okay. Didn't take too long to load all of that. What is going to take a long time is when I do document.create element. Actually, we need a div with an id equals main. And we're going to create element UL. And then we're going to do zone infos dot map info document create element and li. Oops, I should assign these to the things, and then we're making an li. The li's inner HTML will be info dot name. Was it info? Nah, it's already gone. Yeah, and ul dot append child li, and then we do document get element by ID main append child ul. Then we'll come back. Look at that. Yes, there's all the names. Ta-da! Then I wonder if you could work out the current time zone offset. Yeah, so that's the so the current time zone offset is the UTC offset. Okay, cool. So I can do that. I probably don't need this info stuff. Probably just need the names. Let's. Now we're gonna go const offset equals moment. No. Info dot UTC offset moment. So what's the offset from that? And then we'll go here. Oops. Name. And then it'll be GMT. Then offset. That'll be that. And ta-da! Let's have a look. We get offset is not defined. Offset is not defined. Okay, cool. So that's not really ideal. What we want to do is actually pull. We're gonna do multiple maps. Map info, and then this will come down here. And we're gonna do that in this offset, and then we're gonna return info. Name is info dot name. And then we'll do offset is info. Off is just offset, because then we can go sort. We'll do A, B, A dot offset is greater than B dot offset. Get rid of some of that excess space. Yep, that's info.offset. Info.offset. That didn't seem to do any sorting. No, that didn't do any sorting. Wait. It's 1 or -1. Okay, cool. There we go. So I have done the reverse sort on that, and then that is actually going to be divided by 60. Yay, look at that. Now we're starting to get somewhere. GMT minus 4. ETC GMT minus 14 is a GMT offset of minus 14. Isn't that surprising? No, GMT isn't UTC, but fine, I will change the label. It's UTC. No, Jack, my code isn't working. There we go. No, it's working slightly better now. Where are we? Australia South, Australia North, Australia. There we go. There's Sydney. GMT. Oh yeah, so UTC, and then that will then be multiplied by -1. Oh, let's not do this here. We're going to const offset hours equals that. Offset hours is greater than 0 plus, and then we'll do the offset hours. That's pretty ugly. There we go. UTC plus 14. Yeah, look at that. What we really should be doing is, instead of doing it as a UL, I'm going to do that as a select, and then this will, instead of being an LI, will be an... where am I creating that element? Option. And we'll rename those. Select. Option. That, and then we can scroll. That's not nicer. And then what could we do? It was like moment.tz.guess, I think. Actually, let's come back into the browser. Moment.tz.guess. Yeah, there we go. Then we'll go const guess equals moment tz guess. So where are you currently? And then if what is it? Info.name equals guess. Then we will go option.selected. It's true. And probably just do that as the result of, hey, look at that. And we select Sydney. Isn't that amazing? I kind of want to do option groups. Now, so we've sorted, and then we can do so what I want to do is, at the moment you've just got this like epic list of things, which is like, that's fine, we can scroll through that, it's easy enough to deal with. We put in like a pretty sort plugin, a pretty design over this thing, but what would be kind of cool is if that, like, we just had these group headers that was like UTC +9 and then like all the places in that, and we can do that with option groups in an option list. But to do that, we're going to need to generate groups, and we can generate a group with the reduce function, and we'll create, that's called groups, and then info, then that I forgot the parentheses, and then that will return a thing that's going to be an object, which will then not be able to pass through to map. Actually, no, we'll just do it as an array. And the array will be an array of, it's going to need to be an object. It's going to be an object. And then we're going to have to pull that out. Const groups equals that. And then it'll be groups.map there. So the reduce function is going to say if groups info.offset. So if it has the offset, no, if it doesn't have the offset, then groups info offset equals an array, and then groups info.offset.push info return groups. Now that's actually going to break the group mapping function down here, because that will be actually a group, and then we'll go const opt group equals document.create element opt group. Yep, so we can create that one, and then group dot map. So then sorry, I gotta do object dot keys of the group, and that will be group key, and then the const group will be groups group key, and then we'll map info, delete that there, that. Yep, because we're going to need the squiggle there. Close brackets, save, reformat, awesome. And then that will be the opt group we will append the child to, and then we'll select dot append child opt group. Look at that. So then, oh yeah, got to do opt group inner HTML equals group key. No, we will go UTC, and then this ugly thing. I'm going to need the group though, because the offset will be offset hours, which will be the key. Const offset hours will be the group key divided by 60 star -1, and then I don't need to do that. Ooh, I'm giving you ideas of side projects to stream. What are you planning on doing, Jack? What are you doing, Jack? Oh, wait, that didn't... Opt group doesn't support that? How do I put an opt group heading? MDN opt group. I thought it was just the inner HTML. Do I have, like, is there an opt group heading? Label, of course. That will not be there. That will be set attribute label with that. Save, done. Look at that. Got extra parentheses. Fix that. A run sheet app. You haven't told me about that one for me to steal yet. Cool, there we go. And then I'm going to alphabetically sort the things within inside of, and then we're going to do a sort, A, comma B, A dot name is greater than B dot name, 1, neg 1. Ah, look at that. I love that you can just like, greater than and less than on JavaScript strings, and it goes, I'm going to pretend these are numbers anyway. String sorts. Fantastic. There we go. I'm quite happy we've managed to do something. Oh, come on, Jack. Let me stream your other side project. You know you want me to. You know you want me to. Git status, git add, git commit, display a list of time zones. And you know what? I actually just realized that I don't need to be chucking in some of the stuff that I was chucking in there. It's like, there's no point in doing this zone info. Like, I'm not actually using anything out of that. That can just be zone names. Oh, no, I do need that because I use the UTC offset, which is off the... Yeah. No, that makes sense. Okay. Cool. And while I think of it, I'm just going to npm install eslint. Actually, prettier. What is the eslint prettier stuff that you need to do? Eslint prettier. Okay, so I'm going to need this plugin. Please tell me you just say boom. And I'm going to have to install eslint as well. Eslint, and then that. We'll save those, and we'll create an eslint RC while we're at it. Do eslint, no, dot eslint RC JSON. Allow. Cool. So that will then, so we are installing eslint. I've already got one vulnerability. There's like nothing installed. npm audit. No, not Audi. The fact that that worked kind of bothers me. Minimist. It's a dependency on light server. Oh, fun. Okay. And we're going to package JSON lint eslint, and then we'll lint fix eslint dash fix. Save that. npm run lint. I'm going to hope that it worked. Const foo equals there. Okay. Well, that's depressing. It didn't work. What did I say? What did I say to my eslint RC? Yeah, rules. Settings. No. What do I need to specify? SRC. Assigning to R value. That what? I mean, I suppose I don't need async there. That's fine. Unexpected token parentheses. I mean, that doesn't really matter. use strict. It is a reserved keyword. Well observed. The keyword const is a reserved word. I know it's a reserved word. I'm using it. I mean, I don't really need the self-executing anonymous function, do I? No. That's weird. Yes, lint. Is it .io? No, it's not. Com. It's not gonna be a com, is it? No. Just ESLint. No, not .com. .org. Get started. So we install ESLint. Okay, let's just do that. Fix problems, enforce code. Yep. None of the frameworks. There is no TypeScript. It is going to run in the browser. Inspect my code base. SRC. Do it in the JSON. We'll see if it'll get annoyed by the fact that I already had one in there. Evidently not. Whoa. Okay. I mean, I don't need it to give me all these rules. I just wanted to use the default stuff. Let's see. npm run lint. Okay, cool. There we go. Happy now. Probably because I didn't have the ES 2012 settings in there. And now let's go dump that prettier stuff back in. Plugins and rules. npm run lint. Okay, there we go. Sweet. So linting is working. Oh, actually, I wonder if... so I came across a package the other day. What was it for doing like pre-commit rules and stuff like that? Pre-commit hook package. Can't remember what it's called off the top of my head though. It's like Husky, that's it. Let's add Husky as well. Well, I might not want to be installing any damn like preprocessors. I'm going to make it overly complex as just like a local dev experience. So Husky, if you haven't come across it before, you basically like in a package JSON file, you define like pre-commit hooks and like stuff like that. Like, because if you've ever tried to do pre-commit hooks or post-commit hooks and stuff like that in Git, it's annoying because they live inside of the .git folder, so they don't like they're not actually committed as part of your repo. So when you try and have them across multiple projects, well, that's not really possible because they don't exist. Instead, what I can do is now inside of my VS Code instance, we go here and we'll add, actually, does Husky do a scaffolding thing? No. So we're going to just add a Husky with hooks. And then we're only going to do pre-commit at the minute. And that will be npm run lint. Because we don't have any tests. Who needs tests? tests are overrated. Now, the thing should be that let's git add, git status, git diff star.js. Okay, git add star.js, git commit. Wait, could I get away with it being? Did it need to be, or did that work? I think it was because I wasn't using the browser stuff. Yeah, so git add star.js. So we don't need to type function. I don't want to type function, like it's too long a keyword. And now if we do git commit, forgot use strict. And then that should run. There we go. Look at that. So it's running ESLint now, so that every time you do a commit, I'm going to make sure that the code base is linted. And at some point we might actually write some tests around this stuff. And if we do, then we can do the tests beforehand. And git commit, adding linting and pre-commit hook for linting. Ta-da! Look at that. Oh, so what have we managed to do? We've managed to spend a lot of time trying to work out how time zones work. Basically. No. So we've got it to be able to display a list of time zones. Sweet. That's kind of what we wanted. That's the starting point. Now, I am now going to rename this file and chuck it somewhere else. We're going to rename this file, and that will be called Timezone Picker. And then actually getting rid of that. And then we export. Actually, no. Then we're going to create a new function. Yeah, we can get those. Yeah, we'll create a new function, const create picker. And then that can pass in moment. We get rid of that. That there. That. Save, and then we can export export create picker. Ta-da! And then now create a new file, index.js, and then this one will be our self-executing anonymous function, which is async, and then that will use strict. No, I wanted it to self-execute. There we go. Now it's happy. And then we will const create picker equals await import /timezone picker.js. And then we can go create picker. And then thing is going to go boom. Oh, yeah, I forgot to pass in moment. Window.moment. Look at that. Okay, so what we... this is where I wanted to be able to get to with the browser modules. So basically, I can extract out any code that I'm writing into a separate module. So that's just this timezone picker function here. This is then just a generic ES function. An ES module that just exists in the code base, and I could write tests around it. Maybe it would be better if we created document. We pass document in as well, and then we go document, because that's available. Because then, while it's like it's DOM relevant here, because we're doing document.create element, if we're passing in all those dependencies, we could write tests around this function and make sure that it builds up this like the DOM structure that we're expecting. But also now I can hide this behind like a button, so that you click the button and it goes and the create picker becomes available. So I'm just going to add that and starting to use ES modules internally. Nice. Hey, we rewrote index.js 98%. Yeah, we pretty much did. And now let's hide this behind a button. And we're actually going to build this as HTML. It's going to be main. And we're going to have a button. And then that will be ID equals add time zone. Add a time zone. What I want is create picker is going to not append that, it's going to return the select. Return the select. Select. So it's going to return the DOM element that it's created, because then in here we're going to const add time zone button equals document get element by ID add time zone. Wait, it's a capital Z. Okay, and then we'll do add time zone button dot on add event listener, click. And then we can go const select equals create picker moment and document window.moment, and then document dot we'll just get the main element and we'll just append it for the moment. Ensure that we're keeping existing functionality. Which that's the one I want. Okay, so then we go add time zone. Sweet. And then we can do that. But the problem is that now that we're able to add multiples, look at them, and they're all time zone picker thingies. So then what we'll do is we'll have this one. We do. So we're going to need something from the picker. That when you select the item from the picker, it will then, you get that change notification and it'll give you that time zone info object. So maybe we'll do some stuff with custom events as well. Now, would you subscribe to the picker? Yes. Yep. We're going to do that. We're going to have it. But where, because I want to select that full info object. And this is how we will do it. So on the object, we're going to go option dot data. That will be zone info. And then we will have info. Yeah, that's fine. And then select dot on. dot add event listener. Add event listener. Change. We want the target. Console.log target.data zone info. Target. There we go. Okay, so we do that. Option.data is not a function. So I think it's, oh, maybe it's dot body set. No, data set. Clear foo, and then like A1. Okay, and then we do foo document dot body dot data set dot foo. How do you use dataset again? Dataset. HTML or foreign element. Dataset. Yeah. I thought you could dynamically add stuff. So that's how you get it. I thought you could just add. Well, okay, so no, it's just doing an assignment. Ah, of course. Equals a colon 1. Ah, damn it. It serializes it down to JSON. Oh, sorry, 2 strings on it. That's annoying. This is actually, oh, because it does actually appear on the body. Well then, isn't that a fun thing? I was kind of just hoping that I could put the object on there and not have to do like serialization, deserialization. So what about the HTML object tag? MDN option tag element. What event, like does it have events that you can subscribe to on it? Content category, option, there we go. Yeah, default selected. Are we going to dive into the HTML living standard? I don't think we want to do that. No, I'll just deal with the fact that it's going to become a string by doing 2 stringing on it. Where was data? Where did I do it? Yeah, data set dot zone info equals JSON dot stringify of that info. And then we'll console log data set dot zone info. And we'll do JSON parse. JSON.parse. Boom. Then add time zone. No, I broke something. Cannot set property zone info of undefined data set. Capitalization. Add time zone. Boom. Unexpected token U in JSON at position. Target. Oh, because the target didn't have it on it. I wonder if it's because it, no. Because it's converted into a hyphen? Actually, let's just breakpoint. That's a better idea. Source. Don't care about that. Right, time zone picker. There we go. Let's have a look. See. Okay. So the target. Oh, because the target's the select. Of course. Oops. So no, we want target dot selected options. O dot data. Oh. Well, that's annoying. There we go. Data set. Yeah, there we go. Zone info. Yeah, that's what we want. We want selected options. Dot selected options. And the first one, because there's only ever going to be one, because it's not a multi-select. And you can't actually select the opt group, so it's you're only going to be able to select things that. Oh. Selected. It's like, don't tell me it's just broke anyway. Nope, it didn't. Ta-da! Look at that. There we go. Now we can get our location and the offset. That's what we want to get to as a starting point to be able to display there. And then we'll need to, we will go select dot is it raise event? I think it's that. Document dot body dot raise dot document dot body trigger. No. I should have paid more attention on Phil's stream the other week or the other day on how you trigger a custom event. It's all good. I have done it recently in this code base, which is let's see, colors. I think it's on canvas. This is a little app that I've made for doing like it's an online coloring book essentially. No, that's that event listeners there. Is it resize? Is that not? No, maybe there's somewhere that I raise a custom event in here. Menu. That's it. Window.dispatch event. That's right. Can you dispatch event on any element? Document.body dispatch event. I can. Cool. So select.dispatch event. And then we have to provide it with a new event object, don't we? Yeah, a new event. The event is going to be new event. Okay, so we probably want to create a class for that event. Class zone selection select event in extends event. That's cool. This will take a constructor which will have zone info. oh, I was like, do we do like a private member? But no, we can't because browsers don't support those yet. This dot underscore zone info equals zone info, and then we do get zone info, return this zone info. Is that how you do a getter? Equals. No. How do you do getters? ES class getter. Yeah, that, yeah. Then I can just this dot underscore zone info. No, it has to be return. Cool. Okay, so expected to call super. That's super. New zone select event, which will take the target selected options 0 dot data set dot zone info, and that needs to be JSON dot parse that. Ta-da! And then we probably want to actually export that event. Zone select, just so people know that's of that class. Morning. You're late again, Glenn. You're late again, because it is only about 10 minutes until I'm going to wrap up the stream for today. You have missed a whole lot of fun with time zones, and me regretting my life choices of doing this. Yeah, unfortunately for from Western Australia, this doesn't really fit to your lunchtime because it's my lunchtime. But once I build this app, I'll actually know when it's your lunchtime because I'll be able to see time zones, or know that you're 2 hours behind and like 30 years. I probably so dispatch event. Oh, I need to provide it with the name of the event as well. That's what needs to go into the super. The super will be zone selected. Because then now what I can do in here is the select. We add event listener to zone selected. And then I don't actually know what we're going to get as the event args. Log E. Okay, so we add the time zone, we select, we click on that, and then we get a full event object, and it's going to have the zone info there. Cool. Very exciting. Do we I'm going to over engineer this and also make it so that I can do proper ES private fields because I don't like the underscore stuff. So we're going to do const private fields equals new set. Yeah, it's going to be that. And then we will go private fields dot add this wait, is it? Yeah, so we add, no, it's a map, it's not a set, it's a map. And then add, no, dot set this comma zone info, And then that's not going to be called private fields. That will call zone info private fields. I wonder if there's any way to determine when an object is being destroyed in JavaScript. Is there a deconstructor? Zone info private fields. Get this. Yeah, like does anyone know off the top of their head, is there a deconstructor for a JavaScript object, JavaScript class? I have to Google that one. Close off some of these tabs that I don't need anymore. JavaScript class deconstructor. C#. Thanks. That's not the one I wanted. No. I don't think there's any way to tell when the class is being garbage collected. JavaScript detect object GC. How to detect if an object has been garbage collected? Maybe a weak map. Maybe we want to use a weak map instead of a map. Yeah, because otherwise you're going to have, like, it's a possibility that when the event's done, that the map doesn't actually get cleaned up and the items aren't removed, so you could blow out, could have a pretty decent memory leak. I think I'm probably introducing a potential memory leak here, particularly if you're just selecting things a lot. But it's all right. We'll deal with that. Okay. And then, last but not least, just going to, so on selection, we will grab the zone info, and then we will do document dot create element p, and then const p equals that. p.inner HTML is zone info. Actually, be zone info.name UTC zone. Oops, no brackets there. Does zone info dot offset, and then we'll document dot get element by ID is the main, and then we'll append child p. Okay, so if we select the time zone, look at that. Here are the time zones as we select them. Ta-da! Offset hours. I should chuck that onto the object that's coming in here because that's a useful one. Like the offset in minutes and the offset in hours is useful. And where's offset hours? It's generated there, isn't it? So we're going to pull that up to here, and then we're going to go info.name. That will be offset hours. And then we will have to bring this one up. That will be group dot, pop the group in there, and there, save. Actually come back to here, and that will be offset hours. Save that one. Add time zone. Oh. Offset hours. Did I, like, no? Oh. What have I broken now? Info.name divided by 60. Yeah, so it becomes offset hours there. We push the info in. The group is that. And I don't need to do that there anyway, because we put it up earlier. Okay. UTC undefined. I broke something in my refactoring. Disappointing. Now we're gonna have to we're gonna have to breakpoint debug, because I did that right at the very last few minutes of the stream, didn't I? Of course. That's when you break things. See you, Jack. Thanks for hanging out. We'll catch you next week. Okay, let's have a look what's in the group object by the time we get to this point. I should add time zones. Okay, nothing. Groups. Let's have a look at groups. Offset hours is not a number. Of course it's not a number. Okay, so how many of you spotted that one in my quick refactoring? That should have been offset, because it's that value. Offset dot the group name eventually becomes that because of the key that we do inside of the reduce down here. Oh dear, dear, dear. Okay. Well, that still didn't work. So offset divided by 60. I did save that, right? Okay. Damn it. Back to the breakpoint. No, actually, let's stick a breakpoint there first up, and then we're going to stick the breakpoint there. Yeah, we'll just add it again. Offset hours is correct. It should be a 0 offset, because that one is, yep. Correction, it is actually -0. You see that? That actually might be a little bit difficult to see on the stream, but the offset hours for a 0 time zone is -0. It's because we do 0 divided by 60, which is 0, multiply it by -1, which makes it -0. Fun. Okay, so wait, group key is no, because the offset hours is on the individual item. So you still need to do that maths there, or you do group 0. Of course. No, because we know that they're all part of the same group, we can just do group 0, and then the that's setting it there. Yeah. Now if we add time zone, there we go, we got it back. Fantastic. And if we add, there we go, Canberra is UTC 10. And then if we scroll down, we should find UTC 8. -8. There we go, Australia Perth. Look at that. Where's my plus? Because I'm not doing this thing. There we go. And not group. What is it? Zone info. Whoop. Zone info. Add time zone. Select location. There we go. Okay, cool. Well, I might wrap that up for now. And I'll commit these changes up and all that sort of stuff. But, oh, wait. Someone's just started raiding me. Well, I guess that means that I should probably keep going for a little bit longer. But, so, welcome. I see Coding Mama is raiding me with a party. So, yeah, maybe we will keep going for just a little bit longer. But I'm going to take a break and grab a drink. And yeah, we'll be back and we'll keep ticking away maybe for another hour or so and see if we can't get it to, well, fix up some of the annoying things that I've got happening here. Hi, welcome everyone. We'll be back in a couple of minutes once I've grabbed a drink and something to eat. I just realized that I don't actually have my mic muted when I'm on the break screen, so chance that I was wandering around and there's the background noise, hear me having a chat with my wife. But hey, let's get back to it then. If we've got some more people coming around to check out what's going on, we may as well see what else we can build. So what we're trying to build is an application that allows you to list out time zones, so you can kind of see like your time relative to people across all time zones. So far, we've got it to the ability where we can select a time zone from a list. Well, we can select many time zones from a list. So starting to build up this massive list of time zones here, which is a reasonable enough starting point. Let's actually just commit where we're at. Git status. And that was adding a custom event, adding an event to handle selection of a TZ. Because that's kind of useful. Try and commit as we go. That way we know where we're up to. Especially when I come back and break things at a later point. Now, so where's my code going? There's my code. Too many screens. Okay, so we've got it so that we can do that selection. Probably want to have like some sort of like an internal state and whatnot. Yeah. So let's so we're gonna create a new file. We'll pretend it's a database. And use strict because we always do that, and this is out of habit. Actually, that's a good point. I should go back and fix that. A good point that you call out there, Glenn. If you have a look at like UTC plus 10.5, that's, I mean, it's true, it's 10.5 hours, but 10.5 isn't like, it doesn't necessarily make sense from a time visualization. You kind of, you do want it like 10 hours, 30 minutes. Which so I can probably, and then I think there's one that's like 0.75 I saw. Yeah. Oops. Somewhere up here. Yeah, there's a 0.75. There's 0.9. Where was it? I think I've scrolled past it. Yeah. Pacific Chatham. Wherever that is. That's a 0.75, so that's like it's 12 hours and 45 minutes offset. Maybe we should fix that. Yeah, we'll come back to the database. We'll fix that display issue here. Okay. Actually, I wonder if Moment had that as a display function on time zone. Zone object. No, because it just gives us offset in minutes. Abbreviation. Yep. Offset. Parse the offset from that zone. No, so I think I'll have to write that little function myself. So we'll go const format time zone offset hours, which will do that, and then this is going to need to go. What is 75% of 60? Yeah, so we're going to const hours equals math.floor offset hours. So that'll bring it down. So we'll have like the rounded down, and then we want const minute percent, which will be offset hours minus hours. So that's how many hours we'll have. Yes. Mathematics. This is going to be fun. And then, so we want 75% of 60, which will be const minutes should be 60 divided by, oh wait, no, star minutes percent. And then we're going to return hours, H, then minutes. Oh, like here's where you can have some fun stuff. We do like localization. Hours is greater than 2. The S colon. So yep. And then in 2 or hours is we're coming back to that. Hours star. We'll come back to. There's something that's going through the back of my mind, and we're going to come back to it because it's going to hurt my head to try and work it out in a minute. Time zone. So there's probably going to be an issue that we'll notice in a minute. Oh, that function shouldn't live there. Lord, how? Plus 10 hours, 30 minutes. That's exactly what we're hoping to get there. Fantastic. And so notice it's plus 10 hours. Now, if we go up to somewhere that is... where's like something that's next to 0, 3, 2... I want like plus 1 hour. Okay, so something that's plus 1 hour should say 1 hour. Correct. So it's 1 hour increase. But I think that there's going to be a problem. And I've just realized that my sort order is not quite right. So if I do something that is -3 hours, it says -3 hour. And that's because it should say -3 hours, but because it is not greater than 2, so it's a negative number, it goes there. So I was like, oh, well, why don't we just do less than -2? Now, will that work? Because it has to be an OR condition. Yeah, that should actually work. It should. Or hours is less than -2. And then I'm going to just chuck spaces there and there. I should do similar for minutes. And then what you should probably actually do is minutes equals 0, not enough equals 0, colon that, then we get that. So many embedded string interpolations happening here. Whoops. It's terrible. Like, this is some just... Is 0 hours... Oh. You're right. Then we go, or hours equals 0. So, the fun thing with this is that it would actually become a problem if you were doing localization. So if you're doing language localization, I think in French, pluralization starts at 2, not... sorry, it starts at 3, not 2 or something weird. Yeah, thanks, Glenn. Like, and then that's not quite right. That should be a tick, and then that should be a tick. Yeah, so we're not going to deal with multiple languages just yet. I only speak one language, There we go. So that should say 10 hours, 30 minutes. And then that should have a space in it. So 10 hours. So that's plus 11 hours. Plus 12. Yeah, here's my problem. It should go the negatives and then the positives increase. I'll need to work out. That's going to be something inside of my sort algorithm. There we go. 0 hours. But it's not plus 0 hours or minus 0 hours because you're not doing addition or subtraction to either of those. And I'm going to pull it out to a separate module anyway. So we do that, and then we're going to const format time zone and await from import utils. And also it was about time we added a utils file. You got to have a utils file. Time zone there. Cool. So that still works. And then we want to come back into the time zone picker. And the label will, here's going to be something interesting. Import format time zone from utils.js. And then we're going to format time zone offset group 0 offset hours. Now, will that work? I mean, it hasn't not worked. It has. Nice. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to reference a module from another module just using the import syntax, or whether I needed to do like a wait import. But no, because these are just these are modules just in and of themselves. They're not relevant to whether they're running in the browser or not. Yeah, cool. But that doesn't do the plus or minus thing, does it? So that's just going to be UTC. Yeah. So the format time zone is also going to need to have this logic here. God, this is a horrible function. Here it is. Why is it upset? Indentations. Now we go plus. There we go. We've got the plus denoters in there. We get there. We get the plus denoters in there. And ta-da! We will add that to Git. Oops, Git status. Whoops, Git status. Git add -i. We're going to add 2, and then we're going to patch 1 to 2, and then we'll add all of those changes. We can quit. And then if we get status, DB shouldn't have been added. So, git add -i, so it's an interactive add, which then gives you ability to pick and choose parts of files. So if you've got multiple changes to a file and you want to add them as separate commits, you can use git add that way. Yeah. Okay, time to come back to our database. So it's not really going to be a database. This will just store in local storage. I can't be bothered going down the route of IndexedDB. It's also way more than I need it to be. And so we're going to pretend that it's an asynchronous API. So we're going to do const set item, and then this will be key value, and then that will we just do const storage equals local storage. So we'll just call it local storage, and we'll kind of pretend that it's local storage. We're going to do that. Storage dot set item. Actually, promise return. Promise dot resolve. Set item will be key JSON dot stringify value, and then resolve our promise, and then const get item be key, and then default value equals undefined, and then return promise dot resolve. Oh wait, so that set item won't actually resolve anything. So promise dot resolve res, and this will be const item equals storage dot get item key or default value, and then we'll resolve the item, and then we'll export set item and get item. Okay, sweet, there we go. So there's our really basic implementation of a database design done. We get item, we set item, and it's asynchronous. At least we're going to pretend that it's asynchronous. This is promise.resolve. IndexedDB, if you had a more complex application, would be better, but I don't have anything more than really primitive values, at least so far. But because it's already asynchronous, we don't have to deal with changing our API surface area in the future. Plus JavaScript, everything should be async. With const db equals await import. That's not how you spell const import dot slash db dot js. Actually, I'm no. Then we're going to do db dot set item actually do I want to make it that simple, or do I want to make it kind of understand a bit of a structure? Maybe I should make it understand a little bit of a data structure. Zones, and then we'll do db.get item zones, and then it'll be an empty array, and then dot push zone info. Okay, so that should start populating stuff inside of my storage on selection. So let's have a look. So in the application tab, that's where we can find local storage, and we have a bunch of stuff from other projects that I've been doing. Let's just delete all those keys, get rid of them. Now, as soon as I start selecting, we get errors. Yeah. Get oh yeah, ha, because it's async. Async. You want to see some really ugly code? You can do this. Yeah, and then we can await that. I will tidy that up in a moment because that's pretty nasty. No, it didn't work. I thought you could, because that should be JSON.parse that. Anyway, no, okay. Const known zones equals await db.get item zones, comma, empty array, and then we will do known known zones dot concat. There we go. That should work. We'll see. Blindly code. No, it's not. What is it coming back as then? F10. Known zones is what? Known zones is a function. Let me just check my database. Resolve. So we get the item out of storage and then we resolve and we pass in that. Huh? I'm confused. We get the item, which returns a promise that when resolved, it gets an item out of storage and then sends that item back up. Is there something? Where am I getting this OIDC client from? Stuff. Let's just keep deleting it. Okay, so we await db get item zones, which didn't wait. Well, that's disappointing. That's rather disappointing. Oh, I know why that didn't work. And promise.resolve doesn't work the way that I was planning on having it work. Promise.resolve just returns you a value. This is actually, if I was doing new promise, which I don't need to do. I just want to do promise.resolve, and we're going to pump that out of there. And then the promise.resolve is just going to be JSON parse that. And then same up here. And then this promise.resolve is going to be a null. Yeah. Okay, let's reload. Oh wait, it auto reloads, I forget that. There we go. Now we're in the right place. Boom, JSON parse item. Item is string. instance of string, we will parse it, otherwise item. Yeah. That's better. Ta-da! Then if we have a look, we have our zones, which contains whatever that one I just selected was. And then as we select more, it is getting ugly. Rats. Okay. No, that's all broken. So why did it set the wrong thing here? So let's go get zones. So we're going to add somewhere here. Okay, so there are no currently known zones. So we know that when we do that, we end up with the right thing. It's not in memory, in application. We know that we end up with the right thing in application. Yeah. But if I add another one, so we'll step over. So known zones didn't get parsed. Known zones instance of string. String, no. Okay, fine. Type of known zones. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do type ofs. Instance ofs only works with classes. Yes, yes, yes. If type of item is string, actually equals type of. That's how we do it. An ugly type of test. Now I need to delete that breakpoint. Whoops. Delete that breakpoint. Get rid of our broken data. We can then add some time zones. And now everything should continue to add up correctly. There we go. Yay! Now it's starting to look correct. We're getting all of our time zones in there. We're getting data set. We can go back and we've got some history. Okay, so oops, I forgot to commit. Refactoring a function to support better tz display. Probably the only downside I can say about using Husky here to do the pre-commit hook is that the pre-commit hook is going to run on the code base as it stands, not the code base that you're trying to commit. So if you're like doing partial commits like this, or you're halfway through a change, you're like, oh, I forgot to commit some stuff that was already in stage. Yeah, that's going to be a bit of a nuisance. But I don't think it'll be too big a problem. Okay, so now we can store the time zones. So what we want to do is when the application launches, we will check if there are any time zones, then we'll start displaying them. Which means that this function here to kind of build out and display time zone, I'm actually going to pull that out. We'll create a new function, const display time zone, zone info. And then we'll go display zone info, and then const known equals await db get item zones, and then we'll do known zones dot map zone info. Actually, just do display time zone. And look at that, yeah, as we reload, it displays the time zone for us. Yay, good start. I'm not super happy with the way that this code works, that you like the way that you subscribe to the events. I kind of want to do another refactor. I'm gonna spend half my time refactoring. Yeah. Oh wait, just make sure. Yep, cool. And then we're just going to display times just go tz on load if you have selected any before. Okay, so good. Now we're displaying those. That's committed. Do we want a remove option? Yeah, our database doesn't even have a remove option. I suppose it doesn't really make sense because it's in an array. It's not really a database, it's just a, yeah. Okay, but we're gonna add a add another element. So const span equals document dot create element by ID span clear dot inner html, and then that we're going to use a bin rubbish destroy. There's not many fun emojis for me to pick from for here. Let's have a look. I'll go with something boring, just like an X, I guess. I'm surprised there isn't a rubbish bin emoji. There's a shopping cart. Let's see. No, doesn't look like it. Okay, fine. We'll just go the boring red X. Kill it. There we go. Oh, yeah, thanks, ESLint. And we're clear dot add event listener. Click. And that will be nothing but an async, which will get all the known zones, which we don't need to do that. Known zones, const new zones is going to be zones dot slice 0, actually we need to find we need the index of where the current like the zone that this X is for is in the array. So we'll do index equals known zones dot index of zone info, and we'll find out if that actually works, because it's not going to be the same object because it's been converted to and from JSON, but we'll find out. And we'll do index comma, and then we'll do concat known zones dot slice index plus 1, and then we will await the DB set items on zones and new zones. So I will actually do this with the debugger attached because I'm not 100% convinced that that's going to work. Index.js. I also didn't actually append the span to the p. P dot append child span clear. All right, so we'll get the zones. So the zone info is still correct, and then if we go index, so the index is -1, which is what I was worried about. So the problem is that the array doesn't, like the when you do index of, it looks at a kind of a memory reference check, which is going to fail here because the memory is no longer the same because we've serialized and deserialized, even though the objects are deep equals the same. So we're not going to be able to rely on index of. Instead, we can do find index. Yeah, we can do find index. Find index, and then it will be tz, and then you kind of have to build like a you can build like a deep equals function, which let's write a primitive deep equals. Sorry, let's do a shallow equals first. Const shallow equal. Then we got left, right. If if left equals right. So like if we can do a triple equals comparison between them, we'll return true because they're intrinsically the same. Like they're actually like fully referentially the same object. And we go object dot keys left be const left keys. So we got all the keys from the left object, and then we const right keys equals object dot keys on right. And let's just shallow equal. Now we need to find the intersection of these two, and what if they have the same keys. Yeah, if every single key in the left object and the right object are the same, then we need to go a step further. But if they have different keys, then we want to bail out. Because if they don't have the same keys on them, then we know that they're not the same object anyway, because they have a different property. So they can't be shallow equal to each other. So for that, we're going to go what did I write? Like an intersection function. Like, yeah, where is the non-zip of these? Let's go. Let's bring up a node terminal. node. So const left equals A, B, C. And with const right will be A, B. Now left dot do we want to do a filter? Actually, first test can be so the first test can be if left key's length is not the same as the right key's length. So if we have a different number of keys, we don't need to compare them to each other because the keys are the same. There's immediately a different number of keys because we can tell by the number that was returned from object.keys. So assuming that they aren't the same length, do we then iterate through the keys and return whether or not it would find the first non-matching key? Okay, so I'm going to put some comments in here just so I can remember. Objects are the same, so they are bail early. Objects have different number of keys. Bail can't be the same. They are not the same object then. Then I think we want to go and find the object. I thought I got IntelliSense in. Maybe it's use 14. Maybe it's only use 14. Maybe it's only in the node 14. FNM use 14. Sure, let's install a node 14. Because I thought that the REPL now actually had autocomplete. Maybe not. Okay, we're doing this in the browser then. Okay, so now we've got our left and right. Go left dot. Let's just see. I think it's going to have to be a filter. Filter L. Right dot sum. So if the right filter left dot filter right dot A is not a function. Sorry, that's right. No, here we could go index of L is greater than or equal to 0. And then do we want the So the not of that. So here are all the keys that exist in the left that aren't in the right. Ooh. Concat, and then do we have to do we do the right dot filter r, and we do not left dot index of r greater than equal to 0. Yeah, I think that's going to be it. But I want to change what left and right were. And then D. So they've got the same length. Yeah. Okay, so that's what we're going to have to do. Because otherwise, because we're going to have to basically do the intersection of the two sets. Ah, wait. Can I do that with a set? You set left dot add I don't think I can do like a bulk add. Yeah, what happens if I try to add a No, I don't think that's going to work. I don't think that's ideal. I'm just going to use this this filter function. Now, so if we don't have the same number of keys, yeah. So wait, let's see. What happens if left and right are the same? That should return me an empty array. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So if dot length is greater than 0, I mean, if there is a length. Yeah, like that's a pretty horrible looking function, like conditional, but create an array with keys that aren't in both objects. So if there's a length there, then we're going to return false because they're not the same, because they might have the same number of keys, but the keys are not the same. And then finally we go, okay, so finally same keys test for fields, and we'll go return left keys dot map dot filter LK. Then we go right with the key equals left's key with that key. Whoops. Dot length is greater than 0. So if the left, so we go through all of the keys. If I should flip those. Is there an easy way to? No. If the right-hand side object with that value at that property is not the same as the left-hand side object at that value, then So if they're the same, we'll return true. But we want if they're not the same. Yeah. Okay, so I think that's going to be our shallow equals function. Let's pop this in our browser and test. A shallow equal of A1, B2, and then we'll do A1, B2. So that should return me a true. Ha! Left keys. And then right keys. If I had have been doing TypeScript like Amy suggested, I would have not had that error. All good. Okay, right.filter. Wait, didn't I fix that one? Yeah, right. Man, I really made a mess of this bit. Because it was hurting my head. I know why, because I called it left and right in the browser rather than the... Yeah. And then I just... Okay. That's wrong. They should be the same. And then let's just see. That's probably going to say no. Crud. Okay, so... If the right with that key is not equal to that, then... Wait, no. No, maybe it is... I should write a test so we can see all of the things. Okay, cool. So there we go. Yeah, that's right. So if the property on the left and the property on the right are the same, then yeah, it should have been equal 0 if I had wanted that. Yeah. Okay. So if they're the same object, bail out because there's no point doing a test run on against them because they're the same object. If they're not the same object, so will they get their keys? If they don't have the same number of keys, so the same number of properties on both object, bail out because they can't be the same object. They've got a different set of properties. If the properties on the left and the properties on the right are the same length, but they don't have the same values, return false because they can't be the same object because they might have the same number of keys, but they're not the same. Like one might have a property called A and one has a property called B. So they've both got one property each, but they're not the same property name, which means they can't be the same object. And then finally, go through all of the keys on just the left object. Doesn't matter which, because they're the same. We know they're the same properties. If the value of the left and the right are the same, then that will return true, which means that we'll end up with that one in the array, which in turn will return an array of greater than 0. I'm pretty sure. So if we call that C, this should return false. Yes. And if we go back to B and we change that to 3, rats. They don't have the same value. Why doesn't that work? It's going to be that final test. Is there a way that you can debug that? The easiest way for me to debug that is to hack it. Here, debugger, boom. Okay, so they're not the same object. They have the same length keys. The keys are the same values. Let's just see what we get from running this function then. No, we need to have them all the same, not just some of the same. So no, we don't want to do a filter. We want to do a filter on a knot and then get it to 0. I think. No, the length actually. No, this is what we should do. The length equals left keys dot length. Okay, so that should be it. Okay, so now we'll go, that's false. That's false. That's true. Okay, cool. So if we go through them and we compare all the values and they all are the same, then the length of that array is the same as the length of the key. So the ones that match is the same length as the ones that we went through, then it's going to be true. And then excellent. I actually probably could do this with a for loop rather than a map, rather than a filter function, because then we can bail out earlier. Last bit, and then I think I'm going to wrap up for the day because it is getting long in the tooth and my brain is starting to stop working. So we go for let key of left keys if right key, actually let's do left the key is not equal to the right with that key, return false. And then if that all finishes, we'll return true. So there we go. That should be our shallow equals done and dusted. So that should return true. That should return false. And that should return false. Yes! Shallow equals has been implemented. Let's go and plug it into where we actually were trying to write this for. That will be, we want to import, shallow equals. Yep, shallow equals from there. And then we are going to return, find index. So we want to find the index of, shallow equal zone info tz. Oh, I wish I had partial application in F#. That'd be nice. So that will give me the index of that. I think we possibly want to, I'm going to delete the thing in here, reload. Yep, let's just add a couple of time zones. Oops, not that button. Okay, now if we remove this one here, we should still have 3. No, nothing happened. Okay, so the index is undefined. Okay, I think my brain's done for the day. I'm gonna have to work it. We'll work out next week why the shallow equals. It's probably actually find index that's not working the way that I think it is meant to work. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I have to dig into that a bit more. But yeah, I think we'll wrap it up there for the day because, like I said, my brain is starting to come to an end. But let's starting work on removing items. See you, Glenn. Thanks for stopping by. We'll catch you next week, same-ish time, or for you, when lunchtime actually starts. I'm just going to chuck this all up on GitHub as well. So GitHub, new, and then we are going to create a repository. What did I call it? It's Timezone Viewer. Timezone Viewer. I think I'm going to need a new name for that. It's not very good. We don't need to put any of that stuff in there. We will copy that. Git remote add origin URL and git push origin main -u. All right, there we go. So if anyone wants to have a play along or try and fix the bug that I've got for me, you'll find it at my GitHub, github.com/aaronpowell/timezoneviewer. But still, I will be back midday next Friday. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you then.